Thank you. Great. So then I would want you, first of all, to start by telling me what you understand is the meaning of these overheads. When you talk of overheads, what are overheads? Take your 2 minutes, and we start in this case here by telling you the meaning of what here of overheads. Meanwhile, there is a past paper question. Direct costs. Thank you for trying, but you are wrong. Indirect cost, I love that. I love that. That overheads are what here? Indirect. I love that. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. Indirect expenses. So right for us, they are pretty fast that overheads are indirect costs. These are indirect costs. Indirect costs. These are indirect costs incurred in the production of goods. Incurred in the production of goods, or provision of services, or provision of services, that cannot be directly, that can't be directly traced to specific products stroke jobs here. So these are those indirect what here? Expenses, indirect costs, which are incurred in the production of goods or provision of what here? Services. Could you kindly give me a very good example of an overhead cost? Rent, yes. Very good example of this is rent. So for example, the rent which is being paid for this room at the college, it can't be traced to you. Right? These are the expenses that are incurred for the benefit of many units here. Like now, by paying rent here, then all of us are safe. So introduction to this accounting for overheads, we are being told here, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Yeah, I can see more examples coming in there. Please listen. Any periodic expenses are overheads. Periodic expenses are expenses paid on a monthly basis, yearly basis, quarterly. Any expenditure which is related to time is an overhead. We have got two types of expenses here. There are those expenses which are related to the units produced. We call them variable costs. And there are those expenses, in this case, which are related to time. We call them the OTR overheads. For example, salaries. How do we pay salaries? On a monthly basis? So automatically that becomes an overhead. Now, we are told here business needs to know the cost per unit of goods or services that they produce for many reasons. Why we need to know the cost per unit is because we would want to value our stocks properly. We would want to be able to fix a selling price, to analyze what your profitability. In principle, the unit cost of materials and of labor should never be a problem because they can be measured. You can say this chair has consumed the timber worth this much. So labor and materials, easy. It is the overheads that present the real difficulty here. In particular, what here? The fixed overheads. So let's look at an example. If the factory costs Kenya shillings 100,000 per annum to rent, then how much should be included in the cost of what here somebody? Each unit. So for example, if you are paying how much for this room? 50,000 as rent per month. Then in this case here, what will be the rent per student? So you'll tell me, mwalimu, rent per student, take 50,000 divided by, how many are we here, like 20? Divided by 20. But what if a new student walks in now? So that figure changes. It brings complications here, all right? Now, the process of, ladies and gentlemen, taking up this overhead cost to each unit is what we call absorption of overheads. Absorption of overheads. I'll be able to define this better, but I have a very good example that I would want us, in this case here, to use to understand what absorption is. This example, somebody will be able to get 200 bob. Example one. We are told here, XPLC produces what here? Desks. Each desk uses 3 kilograms of wood at a cost of how much? 4 per kg, and takes 4 hours to produce. Labor is paid at the rate of 2 per hour. Fixed cost of production are estimated to be 700,000 per annum. The company expects to produce 50,000 desks per annum. They want us to give them the cost per what here, somebody? Per desk. 3 minutes. You are the management accountant here. One of your roles as a management accountant is cost estimation. So please now dive in here and give us, this person wants you to advise them, how much does one desk cost? Come in as an expert. Come in as an expert. How much does one desk cost? Write something, even if it's at the back of your book. Talk to your neighbor. After all, when you get my money, you can decide in this case here to also do pulling over, taking coffee outside here, isn't it? There are very good shops for coffee outside here. You guys are very, very good, but one problem you have, you don't love each other. You don't like talking to your neighbors. That is something I've observed. Remember, when you are a physical student, one of the key strengths you have is the neighbor. The neighbor. Neighbor mjinga. Hakuna mtu mjinga kwa hii dunia. Hakuna mtu mjinga. Ataweza kusaidia, anaweza kuambia jambo moja, ikuamue wewe. So 3 minutes are over. Shall I do it? Very good. So, 14? 40 bob. 418. 14. Yeah, Princess James. No, Prince, sorry. 34. Thank you so much. From the language I'm able to hear somebody talking about here, you guys have an idea. 34 shillings, 34, not 14. 34, Let's do this together. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when I'm doing my costing, this was a very good class, theory class. Did you guys attend this class in the morning, theory? You never saw it. It's only 20 minutes in a day. Never saw the link, or you are very, very busy. Haikuja kwa class yenu link. I normally discuss these theories every day. It was posted for only 20 minutes every day. Every day from 11 a.m. No, just theory. We just come and discuss theory questions for 20 minutes. Because you see your exams, we are assured of at least 35% being theory. And if you can master the theory areas and they assist you to pass, To me, I will not say that this is an accountant who is just theoretical. To me, it is the pass I want. The end justifies what are the means? The means. We will not say that this is a theoretical accountant. No, no, no. Now, when we are doing costing, when we are doing costing, we shall look at three key things. We have material what here? Cost. We have what here? Somebody? Direct. Let's talk of labor for now. So labor cost. And then we have what here? Somebody? Overhead cost. For now, we just call them overhead cost. All right. But now remember, overhead cost has to be overhead cost per unit. And then now you are able to get your total cost here. You are able to get your total cost like that. That's how we do our costing generally. So in general, we have got three types of costs: material, labor, and what? Overhead. So of course, as we progress, we shall be able to introduce those classifications: variable overhead, fixed overhead. But for now, there are only three. So they want us, ladies and gentlemen, to give them, cost per what? Is it desk or chair? It's a desk, eh? So they want us to give them cost per desk. So we start with the material cost. Have they told us how many kilograms of materials? How many? 3 kgs. And each kg goes for how much? 4. Which gives us what here, somebody? 12. Then we have labor, isn't it? So labor cost. Have they given us number of hours? How many hours? 4, eh? For 2 hours. Sorry. 4 hours. And each hour, how much is it costing us? 2 shillings. Which gives us 8. And then we happen to be having what they are calling what here, somebody? Overhead cost. Overhead cost, they have given us a lump sum. So it has to be absorbed. So they have told us overhead cost is how much? In the question, is it 700,000? 700,000. But now this is for producing how many units here, somebody? 50 units. 50 units. Is it 50 or 500? 50,000. Then what is 700 divided by 50,000? 14. Ooh, these guys were able to get this right. But I can't remember what was the first one. The first one came from an online student, Prince James. No, please, let's be fair. Always. I always advocate for fairness. Very fair. That Prince James was the first one to get it right. So in this case here, this gives us what here? 34. 34. So this is the total cost per what here, somebody? Per unit. Not per, actually you're right. Per desk. $34, isn't it? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So please, Prince James, be very close by. I will be calling out your name for a present. Yeah. So give me there. You see, at the end of the day, overhead was lump sum figure. We've been able to do what we call absorption. So write for me there as a note, that overhead absorption is the process of charging. Or assigning overhead cost to units using a predetermined basis. Known as the overhead the overhead absorption rate. The overhead absorption rate into brackets OAR. OAR. And we're going to see the formulas for getting this OAR later on. Please, could you kindly give me a signal if you've been able to write up to here? Are we together up to here? Nobody's left behind. All of us are okay. Nobody's left behind. We don't want to leave anybody behind. So then if you're following, you're being told here, this method of arriving at an overhead cost per unit, dividing total overheads by total production, is known as absorbing of what here, somebody? Overheads. Don't write this. Because we need the cost per unit for things like fixing a selling price, we will usually absorb the overheads based on estimated total cost and estimated production. This can lead to problems later because obviously our estimates may not be correct. We will deal with this problem in the next chapter. You'll be able to see in the next chapter, we will be talking about overheads quite a lot. The first problem, more than one product produced in the same factory. The question you have done is a question where this organization is only producing one product known as what here, the desk. What if we have two of them? Example. So in this situation, we have to decide on a basis for absorption first. There are many bases for absorption that could be used. E.g., you could have absorption per unit, per labor hour, per machine hour, etc. Then we have example 2. So this example 2, because you are always students who are blessed with getting answers, and then you get, in this case here, gifts. Example 2, they want us to calculate the cost per unit for desks and what here? Chairs. You give us the cost per desk, cost per chair. An organization that is producing how many products here? 2 of them. 𝗕𝗏 produces desk and chairs in the same factory. Each desk uses 3 kilograms of wood at a cost of 4 per kilogram, and it takes 4 hours to produce. Each chair uses 2 kilograms of wood at a cost of 4 per kilogram and takes 1 hour to produce. Labor is based at the rate of 2 per hour. Fixed costs of production are estimated to be 700,000 per annum. The company expects to produce 30,000 desks and 20,000 chairs per annum. We are told here, overheads are absorbed on a labor what year? Hour basis. So required, calculate the cost per unit for desks and what year? Chairs. Shall I give you a 3 minutes to get 500 shillings? Yeah. So meanwhile, is it the right time to give Prince James? Yeah, again, you are happy for him because he was the first one, right? We shall always be honest here. Prince James, 4. 140, yeah? I don't want hours, I want cost per desk. Cost per desk. And today, if you are in my class here today, and you have never gotten any present, today is your day. Today you shall be able to get a present from me. I'm always a person of fairness. You can't blame somebody where they're not getting presents. There are so many things. I mean, as an accountant, perhaps I've had a very rough day at the workplace. I can come to class and I don't want to talk. 40, yeah? 40? Nataka tu desk peke yake. Desk peke yake. Karibuni sana. Karibuni sana. Hope kuna mahali pa kuketi. At the very back, you don't have a neighbor, but now you have 2 of them. It's a blessing. Even at the front here, Akina Connex, they have neighbors, but they're not talking to them. Disaster. Yeah. 40 desk, 15. What are the online students saying? The online guys, what are they saying? Of course, you're ahead of them. If you get it, that's okay. But what are they saying, the online students? But then you don't have to copy the question because you have this. If you don't have it, this gentleman will give you, and then you print it. These are very, very important manual. Shall I do it? Shall I do it? Shall I do? Do you get the 50 and 15? I mean, 40 and 15 connects. 34. Is there any online student saying 34? I can't see their comments. I cannot see their comments. So 3 minutes are up. Shall I do it? Yes, I shall do it. So for the chair is 15. Seems this gentleman got it right. Seems this gentleman got it right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen. In this kind of a question, you can see they have given us overhead absorption basis. They have told us to absorb overheads using what here? Labor hours. The first thing you shall do is to give us OAR. So give us OAR. What does this OAR mean? Overhead absorption rate. So in this case here, what will we do to get it? We shall take the total overheads, total overhead cost. We divide by the basis, and the basis is labor hours, isn't it? Total labor hours. What I'm 100% sure that most of them were not able to do is to get their total labor hours to be used in this production. Total labor hours. So the total labor hours, we have two products. So the products that we have around here, we have what and what? Desks, and what here? Chairs. Do we know the quantities that will be produced by this company? Quantity of desks is how much? I'm alone, but I will overcome. You can see here the company expects to produce 30,000 desks and 20,000 chairs. Labor hours per unit, are you able to see them somewhere? A desk takes how many labor hours? Each desk, 3, and takes 4 hours to produce. So desks, 4 hours to produce, each one of them. How about chair? 1 hour. All right. So this is 4, and this is 1. So total labor hours. So this will be 30,000 times 4, giving me 120,000. This will be 20,000 times 1, giving me 20,000. So then in total, for the whole organization, we need how many hours? 140,000 hours. Did you do it that way? Oh, I should be able to give you a very good present today. All right. So let's go back here. Tell me, do we know our total overhead cost? 500. Oh, total. Oh, I know you are giving me the final answer. I want the total overhead cost. 700,000 divided by what here, somebody? 140,000. And as Connex is telling me, this is shillings 5 per who? Per cow? Per unit? unit uongo. What is the basis here? Shillings 5 per labor hour. So now from there, we can do valuation. We start with one product at a time. We start with valuation of what are the day. So give us their cost per desk. I don't know whether they have been able to write up to here. Cost per desk. Cost per desk. So if you're a very sharp student, you can combine the two. Of course, I know all of us are sharp, but you see at times, this examiner can even give you 3 products. So it's also good at times to do them individually. So when you hear cost per desk, what comes to your mind? Materials, labor, overheads. So material cost, do we know the kilograms? How many kilos? 3 kgs. And each is going for 4, which gave us 12, isn't it? Labor, 4 hours, and each is going for 2. And then we have overhead cost. But fortunately, we happen to be knowing the absorption criteria. We shall be absorbing to each unit at shillings 5 per hour. OAR pale juu. Wamesahau OAR, which is shillings 5 per hour, and each desk needs how many hours? 4 hours. So 5 times 4 gives me what here, somebody? 20. So when you add here, we are able to get how much here, somebody? 40, of which nobody got this right. Nobody. You got 40 or 30. Or you got 40. Then automatically you have 1,000 shillings. Prince James, is Prince James still around? How many students, by the way, do we have online? How many students do we have online? 27. So Prince James, please give us your phone number plus your number, plus your number, plus your number. Nancy Nyanjui also got it. So then who do I reward now online? Who do I reward online? If all of you are saying you did, and me, I'm rewarding the first one, the one who was first to get it. Huyu mpole alipata? Ukweli. Ai yake lazima nimletee zawadi live. Tena mimi mwenyewe, Mimi mwenyewe. Kama amepata ukweli. All right. Then go ahead and give us cost per what here, somebody? Per chair. Cost per chair. So again, we have material. Then we have labor. Then we have what we call overhead cost. So allow me to share the question, ladies and gentlemen. The question, in terms of the chairs, you can see each chair uses how many kilograms of wood? Wood are our materials, isn't it? 2 kgs of wood, and takes how many hours? 1. And of course, you know the cost of the wood and the cost of the hour. Very good. So then I can come back here. So material cost, give me the number of kilograms. 2 kgs, and each is going for 4, giving me how much? 8. Labor, you gave me 1 hour, and each costs how much? 2 bob. So 2 like that. Overhead cost is about absorption, and we know we are absorbing shillings what here, somebody? For each hour. And fortunately for the chairs, we know we need what here, somebody? Only 1. So 5 times 1 gives me 5, which will give me how much here, somebody? Which will give me 15, isn't it? Which this gentleman, I'm sure, the gentleman here, but they remind me your name. Abdi, that one I will never forget. Abdi got both of them correctly. So automatically, Abdi, you should be able to get 1,000 shillings. So as I resolve the online students issue, Abdi can send himself in this case here, Kenya shilling, 1,000 as I resolve. I'll be able to resolve the online issue very fast. I'll be able to resolve the online issue very fast. I'll be able to resolve the online issue, the M-Pesa here. I'll be able to resolve the online issue pretty fast. Otherwise, my very good students, I want to go to the next concept here. As I resolve my online issue, this is what I want us to do. So we are told here something very important, that in practice, it would be up to the management accountant to decide on the most appropriate what here basis. Management accountant, when you're outside there, like I had this lady is a management accountant, who she's dealing with what here stocks. She was to give me some work to assist them to do, but she never came back to me. In examinations, it will be made obvious to you which basis to use, but you have to read the question what you can carefully. And I'll be able to come back to that. So we are going to what we call reapportionment of service cost center overheads. Factory cost centers are classified into two. We have what we call production cost centers, and we have what we call service cost centers. You must write this. We must write this. Mention there reapportionment of service cost center overheads. That we must write. Reapportionment of service cost center overheads. Reapportionment of service cost center overheads. So basically, we shall be having two types of departments. Two types of departments, which are our cost centers. We understand this, we go home. I can see you're very tired. Once you understand this, we go home straight away. But what I know, by the time you're finishing, it shall be 8 p.m. So two types of departments, cost centers. We have what we call production departments, which are directly involved in producing what here? Units. And then we have service cost centers, which support production centers. And sometimes what here? Each other. So we have two types of departments. We have producing departments and we have serving departments. Producing departments are which ones? The ones which are involved in production directly. Yeah. And then we have service departments. The ones that support other departments for them to be able to meet their objective. Like at RCM here, we have production department. Our key role here is to produce accountants, to teach you people. So like now, Mwalimu here automatically is in the production what your department. But you see, for us to be able to deliver very well, we need a canteen. So does the canteen come to teach you here? The canteen people, do they even know how to teach? No. But you see, they are important. They are supporting us to come and deliver here. So that the canteen will be a very good example of a service department. So we've got two types of departments. We've got what we call production departments and service departments. Now look at this. Since these units flow only through production centers, all service center overheads must be transferred to production what you say? Centers. Don't write this. Don't write this. We have got two cases where no inter-service work. No inter-service work. You to understand this. If only one service department exists, or if multiple service departments exist, but do not serve each other, reapportionment is normally straightforward. Use a suitable basis e.g. canteen cost by head count, how many employees, power cost by machine ratings. Don't worry about that. Case number 2 is where we have inter-services. The service departments serving each other. With the inter-service work, what we call reciprocal services, when service centers also serve each other, overheads must be reapportioned using a method that accounts for reciprocity. We have got 3 key methods. We have what we call sequential method, repeated distribution. We have what we call algebraic. Don't worry about that. I'll make it very clear when I do a question. Quick basis for apportionment. Whenever it comes to you apportioning overheads from stores, you shall use number or value of what here somebody issues. How many materials were issued from the store? Maintenance, machine hours, canteen, number of employees, power, kilowatts or machine ratings. Percentages for each service center distribution must sum to 100%, excluding itself. Choose the method based on complexity. Step down for speed, repeated distribution for balance, algebraic for accuracy. So algebraic is the most accurate. Example, we are given a very good example that I would want us now to work on. We are given allocated and apportioned overheads. So we have here departments. We have department X, department Y. Prayer time. We need to pray first. When we come back, all of us will be very fresh. So shall we be able to take a break of how many minutes? 6 minutes. I see the brother. Yeah, 6 minutes is okay. So allow me to just stop this recording because now we are getting to serious business, the concept of inter-services. How comes nobody reminded me here? So, ladies and gentlemen, what we are doing here is the overhead analysis schedule using the repeated distribution. And of course, we have our great question here. So this great question, you can see they have given us, the initial overheads have been given. But you see, we have got 2 service departments. We have stores and what here somebody? Maintenance. They happen to be having a cost with them and overhead inside them. That overhead which is inside a service center shall always be redistributed. And we shall be able to redistribute these using the first method that I've called what here? Repeated distribution. So then I have my overhead analysis schedule here using repeated approach. So I have department X, Y. Then we have stores and maintenance. X and Y are the production departments, the main step. And then stores and maintenance are a support department which shall never be allowed to carry their own costs. So the initial overhead is like that. So we start in this case here by allocating the 20,000 from the stores. All expenses in the support department shall be reallocated. So mention there, stores allocated. So stores, how much are we reallocating from stores? 20,000, because we want everything there to be zero. Do you know the criteria of apportioning these 20,000? They have given us the percentages, isn't it? If you remember very well, my very good students, note that one. If you remember very well, we are given work done by stores to the various departments. 50% to X, 30% to Y, and 20% to maintenance. So 50% of the 20,000 will go to X, 30% to Y, 20% to maintenance. Hey, you good students, give me values now. So 50% of 20,000 is 10,000, right? And then Y is 30% of 20,000. 6,000, isn't it? Yeah, that goes to Y. And then remember maintenance, we're also doing something for maintenance. 20%, isn't it? So 20% in this case here of 20,000 is 4,000. So is that the end of everything? No. I'm still seeing this other department. You see, these stores, we are lucky because it is zero now. But how about maintenance? So you must mention there, maintenance done what here? Allocated, isn't it? Maintenance. How much does this maintenance have in it? 19,000. We want to remove everything from it up. So come here and remove 19,000. Do we know the percentages of maintenance? %40 and 10%. So take 45% of 19,000, which gives me what figure? Somebody here? 8,000. 8,500. Thank you so much. How about the next one? The next one, ladies and gentlemen, remember, is 40%. 40% of 19 is 7,600. 7,600. How about 15% of 19,000? 3,000. 3850. 2850. But when I add these three, honestly, they're not giving me 19,000. Not unless the percentages are wrong. It will, eh? X is wrong, eh? 85, 50, yeah? So I'm told the X is supposed to be 85, 50. Sorry for that. Like that, isn't it? Ooh, abracadabra, things have happened. What do you think has happened, which is wrong, which you must correct? Stores again, which is a support department, has gotten some money. We don't want it to have any money, but because it's repeated distribution, we shall continue repeating like that until we get 0 point something. So repeat. So we say again, stores done what here? State stores are located. Stores are located. Do you remember the percentage of stores? 50%, 30%, and 20. 50 and 20. No, no. Remember, we shall always use. It is 50, 30, and 20. So then, in this case here, how much are we removing from stores? It is 28. It's 2850. 2850. Remember, 50% is for X, which is 14. 25. 30% is for Y, isn't it? 30% of 2850, that gives me 855. And then we have 20% of 2850, which gives me 570, like that. Thank you so much. Again, something bad has happened. You have given maintenance money, isn't it? You need to redistribute it. So the online students, by any chance, are you able to follow? Online students, please give me feedback. By any chance, the online guys, are you able to follow what I'm doing? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You are really great students. So now, maintenance allocated, we want to remove 500 and what? 70. Do you remember the percentages for maintenance? Do you remember the percentages for maintenance? It is 45, 40, and 15. So 45% over 570, or 0.45, isn't it? Which gives me what figure? 256.5. 228. 288. 228 point, just like that. How about in this case, the last one, ladies and gentlemen, which is what percentage? 15%. 85.5. So in this case here again, we have done something very, very bad. What is that really? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we have given the store some money, isn't it? We shall continue repeating like that until we get an insignificant value. Until we get an insignificant value. Fortunately, we are seeing it reducing. So come and tell us stores allocated. How much do you want to reallocate from there? 85.5. Want to remove everything to be left with 0. Remember this 50%, 30%, 20. So 50% of this is 40.75, right? How about 30% of this? 25 point. How about 20% of this? 17.1. Something bad has happened. Something bad has really happened. We have taken some money to maintenance, isn't it? This is 17.1. Remember, we have our percentages for maintenance, 45%, 40, and 15. So 45% of this gives me 9. No, I would want us to have 2 decimal places. 7.7. 7.70. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have now 40% of 17.1. How about 15% of this? 2.57, eh? 0.57. Is that everything? No, until we get this being 0 point. Once it does not hit 0 point, we can't stop there. So come and tell us, stores again done what here? Allocated. So 2.57, isn't it? Remember the percentage of stores, 50%, 30%, 20%. 1.23. 1.28, 2 decimal places. Yeah. And then 30%, 0.77. And then 20%, 0.51. Now we shall stop there because we have hit 0 point something for one of the service departments. We shall hit there. So please now come and give me the total overheads for each of the production departments. Total or final overheads. So if it is X, you are adding up everything. Mm-hmm. 90,000 to 83.23. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. For why it is 44,716. 0.26. How about stores? 0. How about maintenance? 0.5. A lie. Because what was the essence of us doing the redistributions? To have the service department having what here 0. So even if you see 0.51, don't write it there. If I see any figure there other than 0, you will lose a mark. And you see, for us, a mark in management accounting is one too many. It can make you see places that you've never seen before. Like where? Advanced. Yes. There is nobody here who has ever seen advanced. So if that is understandable, please allow ourselves to go and do the same question, but this time around using what we call algebraic equations. Or what you see your examiner calling simultaneous what here? Equations. Now, here, we're supposed to know the formula of getting total overhead for service departments. Once you understand this, then you're at home. And this total overhead will be equal to the allocated overhead plus share of overhead from other service departments. So anytime they want us to get total overhead for any service department, we should always take the allocated overhead plus share of overheads from other service departments. Once I understand this, then I'm at home. So in this case here, we shall let S represent the total overhead from stores. Not from ops. Stores department. And then M will be total overhead of what is somebody? Maintenance department. This is interesting. I love this a lot. Because your examiner also loves it a lot. The examiner loves this a lot. So you will see in your past papers, you will see this. You will see this. Now, my good students, ladies and gentlemen, please listen and listen to me very well. Look at the question that we have, and we are finishing. I told you by the time we finish this, we are going home. Home, sweet home. Here we come. So is there somebody who is able to see the allocated overhead to stores department? Stores, in this case here, was allocated how much? 20,000. So then the total overhead of stores, which is our S, will be equal to allocated, which is what here, somebody? Plus, remember, stores itself is getting some service, from other departments. It's getting a service from which department here specifically? It is getting a service here from maintenance. What percentage? So it is getting 15% of maintenance like that. I know you have understood nothing, but just first of all, right. And then I'll explain. We have to form how many equations? 2 equations. We must form 2 equations. Remember, total overhead must always be equal to the allocated overhead plus inter-services plus the percentage of service it is getting from the other department. If you are following, would you kindly write for me the formula for total overhead of maintenance? Let me give you 1 minute. Let's see. Total overhead of maintenance. Just write, even if you don't get it, so what? Just write something down. Just write something down, even if you don't get it. Even if you don't get it, so what? So tell me to write down. No, I have to start with something. Remember, you told me to let M be the total maintenance overhead cost, isn't it? So I have to start with what here? Somebody? M equals the allocated, which is 15,000. And this M, maintenance is getting how much in this case here from stores? You can see from stores it is getting 20%. So plus 20% of what here, somebody? From stores. So allow me to repeat this, ladies and gentlemen. You see, from stores to maintenance. From maintenance to stores, like that. So we have our 2 departments, and therefore we have our 2 equations. That S equals to 20,000 plus 0.15 M, because 50% is the same as 0.15. And then the next one is M equals to, it's another 50,000 plus 0.2 what here? 0.2 S. So please substitute and give me the values of S and M. So this is equation 1, this is equation 2. Substitute. I can come and say here from equation 1. What is the value of S from the equation 1? Section 1 says S equals 20,000 plus 0.15 M. But we know the value of M. We know M equals who? Plus 0.2 who? S. Sini ukweli? Haya, sasa funguanisha bracket uniambie. So S itakuwa namna gani? 20,000 plus, distribute this. So 0.15 times 15,000. Oh yeah, niko peke yangu. Plus who? 0.15 times 0.2. 0.03. Is that okay? So from there we put like terms together. Okay, those terms that love each other, the S's. So here it's a plus. On going to the other side, it becomes equals this, and this gives me, oh yeah, 2250. 2250 like that. So then please give me this. S minus 0.03 gives me 0.3. equals 222. And therefore, S will be equal to over 0.97. Aha, tumeenda mbio kidogo. Ngoja wapate. So tunasema ati S ni 22. 938. Thank you so much. So then, having gotten S, what shall you do to be able to get, ladies and gentlemen, the other one? We substitute, isn't it? From equation 1 again. What is the value? No, from equation 2. From equation 2, what is the value of M, isn't it? $15,000 plus who, somebody? And the S is 22,938. Aha. Unasema kwamba itakuwa ikwe? So are we together up to there? Really take your time to follow through. 19. .25. Kuna mahali nimekosea 0.2 M. Is it 0.2 S or 0.25? And S is what we have here, isn't it? Yeah. That is S, only that my handwriting is very bad, right? So now we have everything, ladies and gentlemen. We have everything. So then now what you need to do is to come and give us the overhead analysis schedule, algebraic methods, So we have here departments. So we have department X and who? And the Y. Department X and Y. You don't have to bring the other departments here, no. Department X and Y. And once you have that, ladies and gentlemen, then this is what I expect you to do. Those figures already you have them. The figures already you have them. Mine is to simply come and show you how to apportion them. So we have here department X and Y. So how much do we have here? Somebody, initial overhead. So initial overhead is how much here? Oh, yeah, Malone. $70,000. And then Y is what here, somebody? 30,000. So you give me from Stores. From stores. This stores we had the total of S, eh? So stores, ladies and gentlemen, S, what is the S figure? 22,938. So please apportion these to X and Y. So X is what percentage? I'm alone, but I will overcome 50%. 50%. How about Y? 30%. So please apportion this. Apportion this. So what is 50% of 22,938? 11. 469. How about 30% of 22,938? 6,881. And then come and give me from maintenance. You see here, I'm only concerned with the percentages in the production department. Only. So from maintenance, we know we have an M. What was the value of M? 19. Is it 88 or 587? 88, eh? Yeah, so from maintenance. So you are only going to apportion these between X and who? X and Y. So do we have the percentages? What is the percent of X? 45%. Y is what here, somebody? 40%. So could you kindly give me the value of X? X will be 45. 8815. Yeah. How about in this case here for Y? 78. And therefore, what are the total overheads here? Total. So the answers you are getting here will be very close to what you got using repeated distribution. And this is the most accurate. For Y. For Y, we are getting 40. 44. Have we added up this? Because we take the initial plus the allocated ones, eh? 44. How about X? 90. 25. What figures were we getting for the two using repeated distribution? 90 to 83. Yeah. Crazy methods, right? Crazy methods. So then I'm looking for a past paper question. Are you able to see any from your past papers? Anybody who is able to see any of these questions from their past papers? There should be many. Of which sitting? Which question is that? December 2025. Yeah, this was quite a tough question for very many students. Yeah, December 2025, question number 2. I'm not reading the question. I would expect you to go through it yourselves. Stepwise, right? Are we there? Stepwise method. So stepwise method is very similar to repeated. However, for this one, once in this case here, an overhead service, once a service department has given out overheads, it's closed permanently. Mention their step points. Want to take a few notes there. Stepwise or sequential. So the principle here, a service department costs are apportioned only once. A service department's costs are apportioned only once. Only once. Once a service department has distributed its costs, it is closed. It is closed. It is closed, and it does not receive any further allocations. any further allocations. So the most important thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that under stepwise, is you close and move on. Close and move on. I.e., number one, allocate a service department. Allocate a service department. Number two, you close it. Number three, you move on to the next one. It looks complicated, but this is really the easiest. So then let's look at our question here. Let's look at our question. The question of Ushindi Limited. Are we there? The Ushindi question is here. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, there, what do we have? Yeah. I can see the inter-service apportionment, what we call inter-services. Inter-services. So inter-services, we can see small, offering service to what here, somebody. We have small there, medium, and then we have big. Big. We are only looking at service departments. So small to small is nothing. Small to medium is nothing. Small to big is what percentage? 10%. Then we have medium. Medium, what do we have there, ladies and gentlemen? We are following 20% medium, 0, 10%. How about big? 0, 0, 0. So please give me the totals here. So small serving the other service departments, you can see it is what here, somebody? 10%. Medium serving other departments, it is what here? 30%. And then big, lastly, 0. So before you write, please listen and listen to me very well. Come and rank these particular service departments. So which one takes number one? Medium. Followed by what here, somebody? Small. And then followed by what here, somebody? By big. So once you have done that, now you can come and give us what we call overhead analysis schedule. Overhead analysis schedule. When you start by giving us all the departments that you have, production and what you say? Service. So shall now give us all the departments. So departments, I can see we have black. I can see we have white. Then we have what here, somebody? Small, medium. And then we have what we are calling what here, somebody? Big. So please draw that, and once you draw it, please give me a thumbs up. I promised you that we were to go home a bit early, right? Thank you so much. Already they are through. So are you able to see the initial overhead allocated? Black got how much? 40,000, eh? White got how much? 65,000. How about small? I'm alone, but I will overcome. 6,000. Medium? 10,000. Big? 14,000. Big, I'm told, big. In this case here, big is what here, somebody? 14,000. So then start your allocations. Start your allocations. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. The total is simply for ranking. Once you've ranked, that is it. Once you've ranked, that is it. I want to see you guys discussing. I want to get really your thoughts on this. Asante nimesikia lakini ni uongo. Which one has been ranked here first? Medium, isn't it? That's where you begin from. So in this case here, medium allocated. Do we have the percentage of our allocations? So medium, it is 20%. No. Go back to the original table, eh? Very original table. No, we are starting from medium, isn't it? Medium, it is 50%. Then we have what here, somebody? 20%. 20%. And then we have what here? 0 and 10%. Are you able to see those percentages of medium? You know, medium was ranked number 1. Medium was ranked number 1, and I can see those percentages here. And medium, we're getting how much from medium? We're getting 10,000, isn't it? So 10,000, please now give me these figures. So this is 5,000. 20% will be 2,000. Huh? 20% of 10,000 is 2,000, isn't it? Yeah, and then 20% of the small. Huh? 2,000 still, isn't it? And then 0, of course, 10% is 1,000. So see now we have allocated from when? From medium, isn't it? So now medium in this case is closed. It's closed permanently. It's closed permanently. If you wish, yes. Huh? After medium, we go to small now, yes. But if you wish, you can as well, in this case here, have the totals there. If you wish, because the medium now is 0. If you wish, although I don't do that approach, you can give us the total balance to show the sequence. So this 45,000, 67,000, 8,000, and this is what here, somebody? 0, 0. And then what do we have here, somebody? 15,000, isn't it? But now remember, bigger, we have been able to allocate from bigger. Remember, it is allocate and close. So not big, but medium. Medium, we have been able to allocate from medium, isn't it? It is allocate and do what here, somebody? You close it. So that one will be closed permanently. It shall never accept anything there. Now from there, we say from which one here now? The second rank is small, isn't it? So you say in this case here from small. So small allocated. Small allocated. How much are we allocating from small? It is 8,000, isn't it? Do you have the percentages here from small? Do you have them? So please go and pick them. Do you have them? Are you sure they have them? I doubt. Do they have them? What percentages? 40%, 50%, yes. 0, yes. Next one is 0 as well, isn't it? Everything is 0. The last one is what here? Is 10%, I'm told. So what is 40% of 8,000? 3,200. 50% of 8,000? 4,000. All right. 0, of course, here. 0. So we have 10% of 8,000, which gives us 800. So come here and give us the total balance if you wish. So total balance, what do we have here, my friends? 48, 200, 71,000, yes. This is 0, isn't it? Once it hits 0, what do? We close it. In the future, shall never accept anything. All right. So, of course, this was long time ago closed. Cannot accept anything. The balance here is 15,000. 800, isn't it? 15,800. 15,800. And then now, lastly, we talk about what here from big. So big allocated. So big allocation is 15 what here, somebody? 800. Are you able to see the percentages there for big? I'm alone, but I'm overcoming. Goja, percentages. 60% and 40%, isn't it? The others are the zeros like that, 000, yeah. So 60% of this, please give me a figure. 10,000? 9480, yeah? 9480, 63 what here? And then, of course, all these have been closed now. Closed. So then what is the total here? Don't start adding from the very top. You know, here we have the total balance. So take this plus this. 57, 680, lastly. 77, 320. So then when I come in my next class, I'll be able to take you through the OAR process and even try as much as possible to simplify this. But you can't go home like that. You still need some assignment. Is there anybody who can see any other question? There are so many questions of this nature. How comes today I'm not seeing them here? Where are they disappearing to? And the way it will be there in the August city, especially the algebraic method, it will be there, yes. We can't just go home like that. How now? Even when you go home without homework, when you meet people there, what shall you tell them? Because that student who doesn't open even their books at all when they're at home. I don't want you to be known like that. I don't want you to be known like that. Ooh, this. We shall get one or even two questions. One or even two questions, which I've got simultaneous equations, so that when you come over here and you've done your homework, you are able to get 1,000 Kenya shillings. 1,000 Kenya shillings. Yeah. So, yeah, these are very good one. We look at August 2023. August 2023. Question number 2. Question number 2. The whole of question number 2, including theories. So it's quite longer than what we have here, but I expect you to try your very best. Try your very best to do this homework. Otherwise, thank you very much. Be blessed big time. See you when you see me. So tomorrow at 11, I will do this question online, homework. 11 or 1 p.m. 1 p.m. is better. 1 p.m. is better. Around 1:10. 1:10. Thank you. So tomorrow 1:10, I will come and do this question virtually. By then, everybody shall have tried it, right? Because it's not about me, it's about your work. I'll be coming virtually. I'll be telling you, put on your camera, and then I see what you've done, right? Huh? Thank you so much. So tomorrow at 1:10. Bye-bye. It has been a pleasure hosting all of you, the online students. I hope you have also enjoyed the session. Bye.